The 15 strangest things ever found in ice. In 1958, a Soviet expedition discovered a mountain range buried beneath Antarctica's ice. The Gamburtsev mountain range is enormous, stretching about 1,250 kilometers, with peaks reaching up to 3,390 meters in altitude, almost as large as the European Alps. This geological feature was unknown until Soviet scientists found it during their Antarctic expedition. The range lies under 600 meters of ice, making it one of the most inaccessible places on Earth. Even decades after its discovery, scientists know little about it due to the difficulty of studying anything beneath such thick ice. Although most gold is found underground through traditional mining, melting glaciers have started revealing new deposits. During the last ice age, glaciers transported gold-bearing rocks as they moved across the landscape, with some rocks becoming trapped within the ice. While gold is usually dispersed as sediment when glaciers melt, some ice formations have begun revealing significant amounts of gold as global warming accelerates melting. Some prospectors have reported discovering notable quantities. With ongoing climate change, glacial rivers may reveal increasing amounts of gold. This could create opportunities for prospectors who time their efforts well and understand where to search. How do you feel about new gold rush opportunities emerging because of climate change? Exciting or concerning? Comment and chat with me. And speaking of discoveries, could Antarctica's frozen ground be hiding secrets that challenge everything we thought we knew about dinosaurs? In 1986, Argentine geologist Eduardo Alero and Roberto Escaso made a discovery that would rewrite what we knew about dinosaur distribution across the globe. During an expedition to James Ross Island in Antarctica, they discovered something incredible beneath the ice. They found the bones of an ankylosaur, a heavily armored dinosaur that lived millions of years ago. Now, finding dinosaur bones is exciting enough, but this discovery was special for several reasons. First, it proved that dinosaurs had lived in Antarctica, which challenged previous assumptions about where these creatures could survive. Second, the harsh Antarctic climate meant that excavating the fossil was going to be an enormous challenge. It took a full decade to excavate the fossil due to the frozen ground and brutal climate conditions. Working in Antarctica is no joke. The team had to deal with extreme cold, limited working seasons, and the logistical nightmare of getting equipment to one of the most remote places on Earth. When they finally completed the excavation, they realized they had found a completely new species. They named it Antarctopelta, which means Antarctic shield, referring to the armored plates that covered this dinosaur's body. To this day, this remains the only specimen of that species ever found, making it incredibly valuable to paleontologists trying to understand how dinosaurs adapted to different environments around the world. In 2010, Siberian tusk hunters uncovered Yuka, a woolly mammoth gently preserved in Siberian permafrost for nearly 40,000 years. This remarkable find transformed our understanding of Ice Age animals. Researchers believe Yuka met its fate after becoming stuck in a swampy area, where it gradually settled. The unique environment and freezing temperatures helped keep its lower body exceptionally well preserved. Experts were impressed to find Yuka's tissues, hair, and even internal structures still intact. The most extraordinary discovery was the presence of mammoth fluid containing a natural antifreeze, which prevented complete freezing for tens of thousands of years. This insight shed light on how mammoths adapted to extreme Arctic climates and inspired new research into medical applications of similar natural compounds. Today, Yuka is exhibited in Moscow, giving visitors a unique opportunity to connect with a creature from 40,000 years ago and reflect on our planet's deep history. And speaking of treasures in the cold, how did a box of priceless jewels end up trapped deep inside a glacier waiting decades to be found? Before continuing, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming journeys. In 2013, a French mountaineer hiking on the Mont Blanc Glacier made an incredible discovery. He found a metal box marked "Made in India," partially embedded in the ice. Inside the box were about 100 colorful gems, sapphires, emeralds, and rubies that were clearly valuable. This raised a big question. How did Indian jewels end up frozen in a French glacier? Later investigation uncovered a piece of aviation history. The gems came from an Indian Airlines flight that crashed decades ago, either in 1950 or 1966. Over time, the glacier's movement spread the wreckage, carrying the box of jewels to the spot where it was found. The cold preserved the jewels perfectly. Authorities tried to find the original owners but could not identify anyone with a legitimate claim. Under French law, found valuables with no owner are split between the finder and the landowner. In this case, the jewels were divided evenly between the mountaineer and the local authorities. The mountaineer's share was worth about $340,000, turning a regular hike into a rare and valuable adventure. Tap the like button to let us know this content is making a difference. And if you're watching on your phone, be sure to press the hype button right below. Every hype helps this video get published to more people, and it truly supports me in earning extra income. I promise to keep bringing you even more great content. This discovery is one of the strangest on our list. In Montana's Beartooth Mountains, within Custer National Park, lies Lobster Glacier. Unlike typical white glaciers, this one is grayish because it contains tens of millions of creatures trapped in ice. Although they look like lobsters, they are actually Rocky Mountain locusts. Centuries ago, a massive swarm of billions of these locusts was migrating through the Rockies when a sudden winter storm caught them off guard. The storm froze millions of locusts in place. Over time, layers of ice built up, preserving them within the glacier. When scientists discovered these insects in the early 1900s, they appeared almost unchanged from when they froze. Geologist J.P. Kimball first noticed the glacier's unusual color, and in 1914 sent samples to the United States Bureau of Entomology. They identified the insects as Rocky Mountain locusts, a species extinct for over a century due to habitat loss from farming. Lobster Glacier became a rare time capsule, preserving a species lost to history. This find offers scientists valuable, perfectly preserved specimens to study an extinct insect. In 1984, scientists found Allan Hills 84001, a 2-kilogram meteorite, frozen in Antarctic ice. This rock formed from magma on Mars about 4.2 billion years ago, when the solar system was still very young. It stayed on Mars until about 17 million years ago, when a huge asteroid impact sent it hurtling into space. After traveling through the solar system, it landed in Antarctica around 13,000 years ago, where the ice preserved it perfectly. In 1996, NASA scientists caused a stir by suggesting microscopic features in the meteorite might be remnants of ancient Martian life. If true, this would mean life existed on Mars billions of years ago and wasn't unique to Earth. The announcement made headlines and sparked debate. Later research challenged this idea, suggesting the features could form through non-living geological processes involving water. The debate lasted decades until a 2022 study in the journal Science confirmed the features were not signs of life, but purely chemical reactions. Though disappointing for those hoping for proof of extraterrestrial life, Allan Hills 84001 remains a remarkable glimpse into Mars's ancient past and the history of our solar system. In June 2022, Yukon miner Travis Mudry made a remarkable discovery while digging through frozen permafrost. He found something dark and shiny, with short legs visible, which he initially thought to be a well-preserved young buffalo. Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be a baby mammoth, exceptionally preserved. Mining work paused immediately, and experts were called in as a storm approached. Yukon paleontologist Grant Zazula sent 2 geologists who carefully recovered the mammoth just before the weather worsened. The mammoth was named Nunchoga, meaning big baby animal, during a special ceremony involving scientists, miners, politicians, and First Nations elders. Researchers found Nunchoga was a female about 1 month old who passed away more than 30,000 years ago. She likely became stuck while grazing near her mother. The permafrost preserved soft tissues such as skin, muscle, hair, and DNA, an unusual state of preservation since most finds only include fossilized bones. Nunchoga is the first complete baby woolly mammoth discovered in North America, and only the second worldwide. This remarkable find provides scientists with valuable insights into the lives and challenges of Ice Age creatures. On November 18, 1946, a C-53 Skytrooper Dakota took off from Tulln Air Base near Vienna, Austria, headed for Pisa, Italy. It carried high-ranking Allied officers and their families. The pilot, Captain Ralph Tate Jr., chose a longer 2-day route through Munich and Marseille to avoid bad weather. Near Innsbruck, severe weather disoriented the crew, who believed they were over the French Alps but were actually in the Austrian Alps. A strong downdraft pushed the plane toward a mountain peak. Realizing a crash was unavoidable, Captain Tate made a critical decision to land the plane belly first on the Glacier. The plane slid on the ice and stopped near a deep crevasse, missing disaster by meters. Passengers had one serious injury, a broken leg, but survived. Trapped at about 3,200 meters in harsh late November conditions, they could still use the radio to call for help. Rescue was difficult because the mountains blocked radio signals, confusing search teams. B-17 bombers searched but struggled to find them due to terrain and weather. After 3 days, the plane was finally spotted, reportedly by Captain Tate's father, when the crew fired a flare. Swiss Alpine soldiers then helped rescue all 12 passengers, ending the remarkable survival story safely. What's the bravest decision you've ever had to make under pressure? Share your story. In October 2017, scientists were stunned when satellite images showed a massive hole, about the size of the state of Maine, 80,000 square kilometers, suddenly forming in Antarctica's winter sea ice. This hole was a Polynya, a rare opening in the ice, but what made this unusual was its location deep inside the continent, far from any coast. Polynyas happen when warmer, saltier deep ocean water rises and melts the ice at the surface. Normally this water stays deep, but ocean currents brought it up here. Once the Polynya formed, it kept itself open because the dark water absorbed more sunlight, staying warm and stopping new ice from forming. Scientists worried because little was known about the long-term effects of such large Polynyas, especially so far inland. There were questions about their impact on Antarctica's ecosystem and potential links to climate change. Using data from satellites, underwater floats, and tagged marine animals, researchers found that a turbulent whirlpool near Maud Island brought salt to the surface, which then rose through a process called Ekman transport. This caused the Polynya to form. Their findings showed Polynyas like this can change ocean currents and heat flow around Antarctica. These changes may affect global weather patterns and sea level rise, making this Antarctic event important for the whole planet. Iron Age humans shared a love of skiing with modern people, as shown by an incredible discovery in Norway's Dovrefjell National Park. In 2014, scientists found an ancient ski preserved in ice. 7 years later, they uncovered a matching ski nearby, in better condition. These two skis offer a rare glimpse into travel over snowy terrain, more than 1,000 years ago. Though these skis date back around 1,300 years, skiing itself has a much longer history. Evidence shows hunters in Europe and Asia used skis to track prey at the end of the last ice age, about 11,000 years ago. The oldest confirmed skis, found in Russia, are around 8,000 years old, while wooden skis and ski-like artifacts from Scandinavia date as far back as 3,200 BC. The discovered skis measure about 188 centimeters long and 18 centimeters wide. Interestingly, the second ski is slightly larger, reflecting that they were handmade with unique histories, not mass-produced. Archaeologist Lars Pilo explains that this difference fits the craftsmanship traditions of the time. Both skis feature raised footholes for boot placement, leather straps, and twisted birch bark bindings attached through holes in the footrests, revealing advanced ski-making skills over a millennium ago. Researchers believe the owner was likely a hunter, traveler, or both, showing that even remote southern Norway's mountains were active in the Iron Age. A notable discovery was that the second ski had a groove running its length, similar to some ancient and modern skis, suggesting it was used without a fur lining. This contrasts with other ancient skis that likely had fur underneath for better grip. This detail highlights how ancient skiers adapted their equipment and techniques based on specific needs and snowy conditions. Scientists have discovered that viruses can survive frozen in ice for thousands of years, raising questions as global warming causes more ice to melt. This melting could release ancient viruses into the modern world, though the exact number of frozen viruses is unknown, as is how many have already been released due to climate change. Researchers have safely studied viruses from permafrost that infect amoebas, single-celled organisms harmless to humans. This allows understanding of ancient viruses without risking public health. Computational biologist Jean-Michel Claverie emphasizes caution, noting there is no proof that viruses harmful to mammals survive this long, but it's possible since viruses can remain inactive outside hosts. Examples include Pithovirus sibericum, 1.5 micrometers long, found in 30,000-year-old Siberian permafrost, which became active and reproduced when thawed. Another virus, Mollivirus sibericum, also from the same sample, can produce hundreds of viral particles per infection. Finding multiple ancient viruses in one sample suggests dormant pathogens may be common in frozen environments worldwide. This raises important questions about possible risks as Arctic ice melts. The oldest virus found so far is Pandorvirus yedoma, about 48,500 years old, with a large egg-shaped form. While scientifically fascinating, the variety of ancient viruses suggests some could potentially affect modern life. Ongoing research is crucial to understanding and managing any risks associated with melting permafrost. Subscribe now for more incredible stories of adventure, discovery, and mystery from our world's past. On July 15, 1942, 6 P-38 Lightning fighters and 2 B-17 bombers flew from Greenland to the British Isles but were caught in a blizzard with near-zero visibility and low fuel. Forced to turn back, all aircraft made dangerous emergency landings on Greenland's ice sheets. Miraculously, all crew survived. 9 days later, rescue teams evacuated the airmen, but the planes were abandoned. Over the next 50 years, shifting ice buried the aircraft under 75 to 90 meters, creating a frozen time capsule of World War II aviation. In the 1990s, aviation enthusiasts began a daring recovery of one P-38, named Glacier Girl. The operation required 11 years of planning, $2 million, and new techniques for working in extreme conditions. Large heating plates melted through the ice, and hot water jets carved a cave around the plane to remove it piece by piece. Despite the canopy being crushed, the aircraft was remarkably well preserved due to the cold. After excavation, Glacier Girl underwent a $500,000 restoration, keeping historical accuracy and making it airworthy. In October 2002, Glacier Girl flew for the first time in 60 years. On June 22, 2007, it attempted the original transatlantic flight, but had to make an emergency landing in Canada due to an engine leak. Still, the flight was a great success. The recovery inspired plans to locate and retrieve other buried P-38s, including one called Echo, identified using drone-mounted radar. However, high costs and complexity mean future recoveries are uncertain. In 1991, 2 German tourists hiking in the Ötztal Alps near the Austria-Italy border discovered a well-preserved frozen human body. Originally thought to be a modern mountaineer, the remains, named Ötzi, were later identified as a natural mummy over 5,000 years old, making it the oldest known in Europe. Ötzi lived during the Copper Age, between 3350 and 3105 BC. The cold alpine environment preserved his body remarkably well. Scientists learned he was about 5 feet 6 inches tall, left-handed, with brown eyes, dark brown hair, and tan skin, suggesting Southern European ancestry. Though skilled in survival, Ötzi's health showed several challenges. He had dietary sensitivities, a genetic variation affecting his ribs, dental issues, intestinal parasites, Lyme disease, and chronic discomfort in his joints and back. He carried essential gear such as a copper axe, a flint dagger, a bow, arrows, a backpack, and some food. His clothing, made from carefully prepared leather and fur, reflected advanced craftsmanship for his time. Modern imaging revealed that Ötzi died after being struck by an arrow in his left shoulder. Evidence suggests he was wounded from behind while trying to move away, making this one of the earliest documented cases of foul play. The location of the discovery sparked diplomatic discussions since it was close to the Austria-Italy border. Surveys confirmed Ötzi's resting place lies 93 meters inside Italian territory. Both nations worked together, allowing Austrian researchers to conduct scientific studies. Since 1998, Ötzi has been exhibited at the South Tyrol Museum of Archaeology in Italy, providing visitors with a unique insight into prehistoric European life. In 1845, Sir John Franklin led an Arctic expedition to find the Northwest Passage, a sea route linking the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans through the Arctic. This passage promised to revolutionize global trade by offering a shorter, safer route than sailing around South America's tip, as the Panama Canal did not yet exist. Franklin's expedition included 2 ships, HMS Erebus and HMS Terror, with 129 men. From the start, serious problems arose. Food was poorly sealed, causing lead contamination that poisoned the crew and made much of the provisions inedible. After 2 years without news, search missions were launched, but little was found except the Victory Point note. Written in 2 parts, the note revealed the crew was trapped in ice between 1846 and 1848. It also reported that Franklin died June 11, 1847. Despite Inuit oral histories about abandoned ships, the exact locations of Franklin's vessels remained unknown until July 2010. Parks Canada used advanced underwater scanning technology to search for the ships. During a test of the equipment, they unexpectedly found HMS Investigator, a ship sent to search for Franklin but lost in the ice. This success boosted further searches. Parks Canada found HMS Erebus in 2014 and HMS Terror in 2016, solving much of the mystery. Excavations at HMS Erebus have recovered hundreds of artifacts, offering unparalleled insight into life on these Arctic vessels. These discoveries also strengthen Canada's claim to the Northwest Passage, highlighting early exploration efforts by British and Canadian ships in these waters. If you made it this far, you really care. Don't just hype it. It only takes a few seconds, but it will help this video go a long further. Well, that's all for today. If you enjoyed our list and learned something new, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, comment below on which discovery you found most fascinating. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.